Miroslav Volf, Life Worth Living, A Guide to What Matters Most. Embark on an introspective journey with Life Worth Living, A Guide to What Matters Most by Miroslav Volf, where the profound questions about existence and meaning are thoughtfully explored. This fascinating book guides readers through the philosophical and theological labyrinth of living a meaningful life. Through its pages, you'll delve into deep reflection, going beyond mere desires to uncover what truly warrants our pursuit. Discover how diverse traditions and philosophies, ranging from utilitarianism to Buddhism and various religious perspectives, contribute to our understanding of a flourishing life. As you navigate these ideas, you'll confront fundamental questions of responsibility and value, inviting you to craft your own vision of a good life. This summary will not only illuminate the crucial points made by Volf, but will also prompt you to reflect on what makes life worth living for you personally.
Defining a fulfilled life. Imagine you're embarking on an exploration of what it truly means to be alive. This journey isn't about simply existing but delving into the essence of a meaningful life. Central to this exploration are questions about our responsibilities and what constitutes a good and ethical life. These are not mere queries but interconnected puzzles asking, what truly matters? What does a flourishing life entail, and who are we accountable to? Consider, for a moment, one of the pivotal aspects of this inquiry, identifying what is genuinely worth desiring. This contemplation resembles a deep-sea dive, where you navigate beyond automatic actions, venture through self-reflection, and reach self-transcendence. Here, the ultimate question is not just, what do I want, but, what is worth wanting? What pursuits would render your life both fulfilling and meaningful? Once these desires are unearthed, the challenge becomes bringing them back to the surface, into action, ensuring your life mirrors these deeper insights. It's not just about voicing what holds significance, but living in a way that consistently demonstrates it. Next, we confront a crucial question: to whom do we owe our actions? Are the choices we make subject to any form of judgment? Grappling with this query helps us navigate through the varied philosophical and theological landscapes we encounter. Different perspectives offer differing answers, guided by the age-old Smokey the Bear adage, only you can prevent forest fires. This saying eloquently illustrates three modes of responsibility. You're not only the primary agent of responsibility but also buffered by your sphere, your family, community, and the broader world. Lastly, consider the presence of an authoritative figure or higher power judging your actions. To make choices that hold substantial meaning, one must acknowledge these dimensions of responsibility, to oneself, to others, and possibly, to a higher authority. As you continue this exploration, you'll uncover diverse visions of the good life crafted by the greatest philosophical and theological minds throughout history. Paths to a good life. Life's complexities often leave us searching for meaning, and various philosophies and religions offer a rich tapestry of ideas to guide us. Think of this search as crafting a recipe, where each ingredient contributes to a harmonious existence. Utilitarianism, proposed by Jeremy Bentham in 1822, simplifies life's moral dilemmas to a clear metric: actions that bring pleasure or reduce pain are good, whereas those which do the opposite are bad. This viewpoint honors personal responsibility, allowing individuals to judge their own experiences while also considering how their actions affect others' happiness. Bentham's vision extended to nations, suggesting constitutions should aim to maximize pleasure and minimize pain. However, this raises questions: should pleasure be our primary focus? Is all pleasure equally valuable? And is pain truly detrimental? Oscar Wilde, in his reflective work, De Profundis, written during his imprisonment, presented a personal evolution from a life devoted to pleasure. He came to appreciate that not all pleasures are equal, natural joys surpass the fleeting nature of fame. Wilde also acknowledged sorrow as a crucial emotion, viewing it as an integral part of life's beauty. In his insight, feeling sorrow connects us deeply with reality, arguing that a truly good life involves embracing these emotions. Buddhism takes another approach, viewing pleasure as a distraction rather than an objective. According to Buddha, suffering originates from craving, whether for pleasure, wealth, or power. Buddha's journey through austerity showed that the issue isn't the objects of our desires but the attachment itself. His enlightenment brought him an indifference to suffering, not by avoiding pain but by releasing the need for pleasure. Religious philosophies like Judaism, Christianity, and Islam offer alternative paths to fulfillment. In the Old Testament, Abraham's obedience to God's direction is tied to a virtuous life. Similarly, Christianity, through Paul's teachings, emphasizes following God's commandments as central to a meaningful existence. Islam teaches that before earthly life, each soul pledges acknowledgement of God's lordship. This innate promise, although often forgotten, stands as a moral compass, where feelings of guilt serve as reminders of that ancient commitment. These spiritual traditions suggest that true freedom is found in alignment with divine will. The idea of the good life isn't about ease but is deeply rooted in discerning and following God's guidance. For believers, this brings a sense of freedom, liberating them from the burden of constantly evaluating their actions against fickle measures. Instead, life becomes an exercise in trust and faith, offering peace in the acceptance of divine direction. Life's infinite threads. Imagine your life as a vast forest. How expansive will you allow it to grow, and how far will your responsibilities stretch? This notion extends beyond humanity, urging us to consider our duties toward non-human life on our planet. Philosophers like Aristotle and Nietzsche historically defined a flourishing life within a framework of privilege, focusing on personal prosperity rather than global well-being. It's time to shift this perspective to encompass the living world around us. Robin Wall Kimmerer, the wise author of Braiding Sweetgrass, challenges a particular Christian mindset rooted in history. This mindset justified the forceful displacement of Native Americans and led to the environmental exploitation that devastated ecosystems. The question arises, should our sense of responsibility include the natural world, animals, trees, water, and air? Historically, some Christian views implied that humans, made in the image of God, had dominion over other creatures, relieving them of environmental duties. However, North American indigenous beliefs call for a holistic respect for nature, emphasizing that a good life thrives on sustainable harmony with the earth. Consider the age-old existential quandary famously posed by Hamlet, to be or not to be. Buddhist philosophy, as articulated by Thich Nhat Hanh, suggests a different approach. Life and death are not static points but part of a continuous transformation. Your being isn't confined between birth and death, rather, existence is an ongoing interdependence. For many, embracing this endless journey leads to a present-focused happiness. Yet, some philosophers and writers, including Martha Nussbaum and C.S. Lewis, argue that life's finiteness injects it with purpose. They claim that the prospect of death is what truly empowers us, infusing our actions with urgency and meaning. Sacrificing for a cause underscores the value we find in life. As you reflect on this, ask yourself, who and what matters enough to you that you'd sacrifice your life? Or, put simply, what ideals make life worth living? Living the vision. Picture your ideal life, a vision that's authentically yours, shaped by your core values and the things you truly cherish. You've done the introspection, figured out what matters, and now it's time to transition from dreaming to doing. Transforming these ideals into reality requires more than just setting goals, it demands meaningful changes, both in lifestyle and in breaking free from habits that hold you back. Change, however, is never easy. While some might possess the willpower to achieve their dreams independently, most of us thrive when supported by a community of like-minded individuals. Consider the profound impact of community-driven support, as exemplified by Alcoholics Anonymous, AA. Within AA, a sponsor acts as a crucial ally, someone who understands the struggle and provides motivation to stay the course. This model highlights how personalized connections can be a lifeline during challenging times. Expanding this idea to broader communities, like those found in religious societies such as Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, we may not always find unanimous agreement on doctrines. Yet, these settings offer powerful rituals and traditions that uplift spirits and fortify resilience when encountering adversity. Beyond the social framework, practices like meditation and prayer also contribute to enduring transformation. One such tool for personal reflection and growth is the Examen, conceived by Saint Ignatius of Loyola. Ignatius, once a typical 16th-century man, found spiritual transformation after a near-death experience. His Examen is a structured daily prayer that comprises 5 parts: gratitude, where you recognize the day's good moments; review, examining instances when you felt a divine presence or absence; sorrow, acknowledging regrets; forgiveness, seeking to reconcile with yourself or others; and grace, preparing for the future with mindfulness and hope. These insights and methods equip you to not only envision but actively pursue your version of a fulfilling life. By leveraging community support and incorporating reflective practices, you can muster the strength to live your vision fully, finding resilience and purpose along the way.
As Life Worth Living elegantly shows, constructing a meaningful life is both profound and personal, hinging on the values you hold most dear. By examining various philosophies and religions, including utilitarianism, Stoicism, Buddhism, and Abrahamic faiths, Volf empowers readers to see beyond fleeting pleasures or superficial successes. The book emphasizes the need for aligning one's life with deeper purposes, extending responsibilities beyond oneself to the broader community and environment. As you piece together your own version of a flourishing life, consider the importance of community support, introspective practices like the Examen, and the courage to transform insights into lived reality. Through these avenues, Volf's work prompts a vital conversation about what it means to live not just a life, but a life deeply infused with true worth and meaning.